What's up, design family, and welcome back to another episode of Fittdesign TV. So glad to have you back on the channel. On today's episode, we'll be diving into the bag design world with an introductory anatomy video. We've done this before on shoes and you guys really seem to enjoy it. So I thought, why not bring another key type of garment scenario into these videos and introduce something that I'm particularly passionate about, which is bag design. There are a ton of different bag types out there, but today we're looking at one that is extremely relevant in the sportswear space. This is the traditional backpack. So this style of bag is called a backpack, and this is the one that we'll be looking at today. We'll be evaluating the different parts on both the external side and on the interior. We'll look at each of the different components, and I'll give you guys the specific materials that are used on each component type. So if you guys have ever been interested in bag design, this is a great introductory video for you guys. And if you guys are not subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so. We put out great sportswear and graphic design content on a week-to-week basis, and we'd really enjoy bringing this content to you guys, and it would mean the world to us if you followed us on this journey and let us know what types of content you want to see next. So buckle up, you guys are in for a good one. Hey guys, and welcome to Fittdesign TV. So glad to have you here. On this channel, we discuss all things sports fashion, graphic design, manufacturing, and technology. We'll discuss key topics, answer pressing questions, and provide actionable steps on starting your own product line. If you're interested in any of the above topics, stick around. You're in for a good one. We'll start off with one of the most iconic sections of the bag, which is the strap. You'd probably consider this as just the strap, but there's actually a couple of components going on. Starting off at the top with specific bag types, we have at the top here where the straps attach to the main body, what we consider called the shoulder harness. And moving down, we have what is known as this woven canvas strap that goes across the chest or the sternum, and we call that a sternum strap. What that does is it helps adjust the fit and make sure that the bag is snug on the body. Moving down, we have what's known as the padded shoulder strap. So this entire thing is considered a padded shoulder strap from top to bottom. And then we have what is known as the hip padding over here. So some bags, this little triangular portion, they'll have it beefed up a little bit, and it'll either be lined with EVA foam or other types of like foam material that can give you extra support. And this is what's known as the hip padding. So when it comes to materials, well, there's a couple of materials going on. On the external face, we have either a nylon ripstop, a cordura fabric, a ballistic nylon, a nylon canvas. All of these constructions are typically woven constructions with minimal to no stretch, but they gave sublime abrasion resistance, waterproofness, and an overall structural integrity. So a lot of what you're seeing on the external side is going to be a woven nylon or a polyester, depending on the specific bag type. Next, what is the padding on the inside, right? We mentioned the strap padding, and that's a mix of a couple of things. That's either what is known as a EVA foam padding that comes in a variety of thicknesses. In this case, it is a PVC lattice-like structure, so this bag is kind of futuristic. It has this lattice-like triangular structure on the inside that sort of conforms and it squishes to absorb the shock to give you added, let's just say, durability and comfort. So this is a PVC lattice structure on the inside, but it's not uncommon to see traditional EVA foam pieces that come in a variety of thicknesses. Next, the sternum strap, right? That's what we mentioned. If you look at this, this is made out of a canvas material, or it could be a twill material, depending on how the kind of like the strap is woven. Know something that a standard weave, where you kind of have like this basket-like weave, is not the only weave type that you can have. We'll go into another video on many different types of weaves, and there are a ton. You have things like satin, twill, you have things like denim. Denim is a weave, but in this case, we have a standard nylon twill weave strap, and this is what formulates the sternum strap that goes across. Over here on the head padding, so the bottom of the strap, typically you'll have a nylon canvas material or a cordura or a ballistic nylon material. Whatever woven nylon you want to use, obviously those are different variations of the same core material, just they have different added levels of luxury, of slickness, so on and so forth. You can even coat them with PVC. We're going to do a video in the future about the main types of materials that we use on bags, but just know that here we are typically dealing with a nylon canvas material, and sometimes you have either an EVA foam insert on the inside or like a fiberboard, depending on how much structure you want to give the garment, and that's what gives the side their padding. Next, we'll move on to the handle. So this bag is a great example of how the handle is constructed. In this case, what we have is self-body fabric or nylon canvas, either ripstop nylon, ballistic nylon. In this case, this is most likely a standard nylon canvas. It's just a standard nylon weave, and it's done in a canvas-like fashion. So canvas, again, is a type of weave that we mentioned. And what's happening here is it's folded in, and it has a EVA foam padding on the inside to give it the structure. And sometimes it's also not uncommon to see this mesh fabric or this trickle mesh fabric that is lining it. And what that does is it helps give it some volume and some extra padding. So on the handle, you're typically going to see it made out of a nylon canvas with EVA inliner with a mesh underlay underneath. So where you grab the bag, where you're kind of like the bottoms of your knuckles go, that's typically where you're going to have some mesh fabric to give it extra padding. Moving forward, we typically see on the sides of backpacks these functional elasticated mesh pockets. So these are what we consider as patch style mesh pockets. The reason they're patch is because you have the fabric of the main body, or in this case it's the main shell of the bag, and then they're patched on top with a piece of mesh fabric. In this case, this is a tricot mesh fabric with it's like a fish net like structure. It's woven as well. We typically call this a lino or a gauze weave, with a piece of elasticated bound edge trimming to keep everything in place. What you'll notice with these mesh panels is that there's a bit more fabric that's overlaid to give the garment, or to give that pouch, more volume. So that's why we secure it with a bound edge on top to keep the structure and the rigidity of the bag. And again, this type of fabric is typically made out of a jacquard woven material that has a latex and a nylon or a polyester blend. So it's very important to give the elasticity that the mesh pocket needs to hold everything in place. If you have a water bottle in here, you'll want to be able to stretch out the back pocket and fit the water bottle and still have a snug fit. So this mixture of mesh material and a bound edge is going to do wonders, and it's going to give you the necessary stretch and elasticity that it needs. Moving on from these side mesh pockets, we have what is known as our elastic compression straps. So this is this sort of lace-like structure going down and creating the front panel of the bag. And this is typically made out of a cord material with a latex inliner to create that stretch. And usually you have a spring-loaded plastic adjuster to tighten or to loosen. And what this does is it gives your bag the sort of tightness that it will need. Depending on how full your bag is, or if you have anything in this front pocket, you can use this bag to sort of fit larger items that you wouldn't necessarily be able to fit in the main components, and to tighten them down, make sure that nothing is flailing around, everything is secure. So this elastic compression strap is key, especially on more sportswear focused bags. This would not be a bag video without discussing these zippers that give us access to the different pouches or the components of the main backpack body. In this case, we have these zippers, which are either two-way zippers or single-way zippers. So on the main part of the bag, so the biggest opening, it's not uncommon to see two-way zippers that are going to give you access from both sides, and they're typically stopped at the ends, obviously. Or if you have smaller pockets, it's not uncommon to see a single zipper, but in this case, this bag has two-way zippers on both the main pocket and the smaller pocket. These zippers, so what are they made of? We'll do a separate video on zipper anatomy because there's quite a lot to go through, but just know this, there's three main types of zippers. You either have nylon coil teeth zippers, or you have plastic molded zippers, or you have metal zippers. So this type of video is going to be something that we want to look at in more depth in the future, but we have done an introductory segment on zippers that I highly suggest you guys check out. Just know that this bag, it has a nylon zipper tape, which is the lining around the zipper teeth with nylon zipper coils. And sometimes sportswear bags, to give them more waterproofness, will have a TPU or a PVC lining on the outside, which gives that waterproof look and it prevents water from seeping into the main structures of the bags. Then these zipper pulls and the zipper heads, this is a variety of stuff, but in this case we have standardized anodized metal zipper pullers and zipper heads with woven and a PVC injection molded custom zipper puller with a brand on it. So there's so much variety that you can have in this space, and I highly recommend that you guys look at the different components, because when designing a bag, really the world is your oyster. You can do anything you want as long as obviously you can meet those minimums, but there's so much variety, and I highly recommend you look at different zipper types depending on your bags. For more sportswear, I would definitely recommend nylon zipper teeth with a TPU lining, gives it a very technical look. For more fashion-oriented bags, higher-end metal zippers are great. For more casual items, plastic molded zippers are great. Again, we've done a sort of introduction video on this to give the pros and cons of each. I highly recommend you guys check it out. And last but not least, on the exterior side of the bag, we have our decorative panel. So our decorative panel is really where we can get creative with our design and create something that's unique. In this case, there's not that much going on the outside. You pretty much just have these panels on the sides, interlacing and creating a structure to the bag. And in here, it's not uncommon to see plain seams with single needle cover stitch to take the seam allowance and to tuck it in to keep everything looking tight and clean. So this is the exterior of the bag, and now we'll go into the interior. One thing to know about backpack design in general is that you have a very unique construction that you don't typically see on most garment types. This type of construction is what's known as a core and shell construction. So you have a shell fabric, which is on the outside, and then you have a core fabric, which is on the inside, or a liner fabric. So in this case, we're gonna open up this bag and you'll see exactly what I mean. And it's important when designing backpacks to take that into account. Those types of materials need to be specified in your tech pack, because the factory will most likely need to know what's the fabric on the outside. If I'm using a nylon canvas or a nylon twill or a cordura fabric on the outside, chances are you're not just going to have that one fabric. You might have a liner fabric on the inside, which in most cases is going to be a woven interlacing fabric. This is a polyester fabric. It's a 600D, and it's great. It's pretty thin and it gets the job done. It's waterproof. It won't let water through. It's extremely durable. It will maintain and hold up over time. It's not uncommon to see on the insides of these bags to have a repeating pattern print with branding and other items, but in this case we have a plain woven interlacing fabric, and we do also have a fiberboard. So on this side here, this is a fiberboard material that is creating the entire structure on the back, and this is what gives a bag its structure. It can either be fiberboard, it can be cardboard, it can sometimes be EVA foam, but EVA foam is a little bit too, it's not rigid enough, it's a bit too soft. EVA foam you typically see on more of the softer parts of the bags, maybe at the bottom. You typically will sometimes see cardboard or fiberboard or EVA at the bottom of the bag. Sometimes you may just even see a double lined leather fabric on the bottom. There's a lot of variety, but just know that you'll also need to account for the structural material that's going to give your bag the necessary structure. If this bag didn't have the fiberboard at the back, it would just collapse. I'd be able to collapse it, and it really wouldn't give you that structure that you need. You'd end up feeling like you're carrying a shopping bag on your back. So that's not something that we need. These types of bags are reserved for like totes, purses. Even most purses will have some sort of structure to them, either because of the leather or because of a liner, so on and so forth. But just know in this case, we have two types of materials on the inside. We have a woven interlacing fabric, polyester 600D, very thin, around 140 to 150 GSM. And we have a fiberboard material that is sandwiched between the outside fabric and the interlacing fabric that gives the bag its structure. And in terms of interior bag anatomy, we have three main component types that we see on the inside of the bag. We typically have a patch pocket, which will formulate the laptop sleeve. And this is exactly what it sounds like. It's a patch style pocket with a space to put your laptop in. So depending on the size of laptop that you're trying to accommodate, you'll need to make sure This case, we have actually a thin EVA foam inner liner on the patch itself in order to give extra padding to the bag and to create a much more snug and secure fit for whatever laptop you're going in there, so that it doesn't get banged up and you just keep your items more secure over time. Then you'll also have sometimes a zipper pocket. It's not uncommon to see. So in this case, we have a patch style with a zipper insert at the top. This is for more of your smaller items, keys, items that you want to keep secure, items that you want to be less out of reach, so something that you may not want to be easily accessible for security purposes. And last, you might have a nice elasticated mesh pocket for things like cards, for items where you need more expandable storage, so maybe bulkier items, a charger, so on and so forth. But these are the three main components that you see on the inside of the bag. And of course, there are a ton of others that you can incorporate, but this is just the beginning, and this is the beginner's anatomy guide to backpack design. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. That's pretty much a wrap when it comes to the main components of a backpack. Obviously, there are a ton of accessories and trims like the plastic clips, the D-ring adjusters, a lot of those other items which we can do a separate video about, because this video would be way too long if we went into all those mini components. And we're going to do a video on main material types that we see in backpack design. So if you guys enjoyed this introductory video into the backpack world, please let us know. Let us know that you enjoy this type of stuff. We want to kind of expand the knowledge more, because sportswear design isn't just garment construction. It's just not sports bras, leggings, and performance shirts. There's so much more out there, and we want to share that passion and knowledge with you guys. So thank you as always for tuning to Fittdesign TV. It's an absolute pleasure to have you by the channel every week. If you guys want to see more types of content, leave them in the comments below. And until next time, stay awesome.